Hello everybody, welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion for Season 2. This is Round 3 of the Championship and we are at Laguna Seca. My name is Gareth and joining me as always in the commentary box is Jim. Jim, how are you?
Hello Gareth, hello everyone, I'm very well, how are you?
Yeah, great, thank you. And also joining us this week is driver and analyst Will Burnett. Will, you right?
I'm doing great, Gareth, how are you doing?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. Just to remind you all that you can find us on the limitofadhesion.com website where you can find race reviews, analysis and other features. So let's take a look at the Driver Championship. After our first two races, we've got Stephen Batty leading the way with his brace of second places, David Lyne after his win jumping up to second place in the championship. Then we've got Miller, Garlick, Gavin Kelly, Paul Dixon, Gareth Winslade, Gary Jones, Tony Hankin and Mark Tranter is currently in 10th place. And then Lawrence Aaron Jenkins in 11th, Gary Richards, William Bibby, Will Burnett and Luke Hollick. So 15 drivers so far. And then we'll take a look at the Teams Championship. Stupid Aguri now taking a large lead over the Keith Chegwin Memorial team. Little and Large in third, Williams, the Dirty Legends, Verge of Grip and Lucky Bibbs in 7th place.
It's all going to change up at the end of the season, of course, with dropping some races like we did in season 1. So a little bit to see how it goes at the end, eh?
Yeah, all to play for still. So the Okayama race saw a fantastic first with the first ever podium for Paul Dixon, and we're just running on board with him now, coming through the last few corners to finish the race. That was an amazing achievement for him, wasn't it, Jim?
Yeah, it was great, and with the front runners all having a few issues at the start of the race at the hairpin, Dixon took advantage and, despite some pressure throughout the race, just didn't let up and fully deserves that podium.
Yeah, it was great, and so here he is crossing the line, and we just saw there the table of our podium sitters, the Hall of Fame, which will be up on the website soon. So Laguna Seca, Jim, take us through it.
Perhaps the most famous American race circuit. We had a barnstorming race here last season. Expect some overtakes into the Andretti hairpin where we saw Tranter run wide, losing second place to Miller. Turn 6 is a tricky but vital corner to maintain speed uphill. Get it wrong and you can end up like Dixon though, who cut too much and was sent into the barriers. And of course a corkscrew, the blind crested chicane where last time Hankin got it slightly wrong overtaking Jones, while Tranter got it entirely wrong as he sent the ledge into an aerial corkscrew when lapping the Dirty Legends driver.
Amazing, thanks Jim. Now let's have a look at the grid then for this race with the Skip Barber car. Same track, different kind of car.
It's Gavin Kelly on pole with a 1:36.0, but Lyne still makes it to the front row and starts second. Miller once again sits behind Lyne, this time in third, with Bibby in a season best 4th. Garlick lines up in 5th and Tranter goes one better than last week in 6th. Winslade and Dixon are 7th and 8th, ensuring it's all different teams in the top 8 positions. Luke Hollick returns for round 3 and starts 9th with the Williams driver Richards in 10th. Aaron Jenkins is 11th with the KCMT of Jones in 12th, continuing his run of qualifying on the back row some 4 seconds slower than Kelly.
Thanks Jim, that's a surprising grid considering the pace we've seen from David Lyne. We were expecting to see him on pole, I guess. But here we are on the grid then for this race. There's the Stupid Aguri of Gelly on the pole. You hear the engines rise, red lights are on. Green light, we're racing at Laguna Seca. Gavin Kelly getting along away well. David Lyne in 2nd place. Rob Miller in 3rd. See what happens as we get to the Andretti hairpin. They're through turn 1 already. Miller looking to the inside of Lyne. And there's William Bibby coming into the mix and Mark Tranter down the inside as well. Of 3 wide and there's a crash. We've had a crash already in the Andretti hairpin. That was Lyne and Bibby. It's unfortunate to see. That means Gavin Kelly away in 1st with Rob Miller now up to 2nd. And Mark Tranter now in 3rd.
That's terrible fortune there for Lyne, isn't it? That's from the front row now to 11th place as he's pitted, so pretty much last. But terrific getaway from Kelly, just no pressure, and big shout out to Tranter as well. Look, you can see him pushing already.
Well, there he is, Tranter round.
Curse.
So now we've got Kelly, Miller, Garlick, Winslade up to 4th as we come into the Hope and Pray corner, as the drivers have been calling it, and Winslade is losing it, and Is he in the wall? He's in the wall. Winslade now in the wall, and that has promoted Luke Hollick up to 4th place.
That's also carbon copy of what we saw in the circuit guide, isn't it, with Dixon and last season? Just took a bit too much of the inside from what I could briefly see, or perhaps the cold tyres. And yeah, the hope and pray corner, completely correct.
Yeah, and speaking of Dixon, there he is running now in 5th place. So he's made up some great positions from the start. And Hollick going sideways and collects Dixon. This is turning into a commentator's cursed nightmare, this race. Will, what do you think of it all?
Yeah, it's a bit of a messy start compared to, say, Akiyama last time round. Lots of mistakes seen here on cold tyres. And again, due to the nature of Laguna Seca being quite a smooth track with a lot of surface dust, and sometimes it will catch you out. And unfortunately, the skip has this amazing tendency there, as you saw there, just a lazy spin. And, well, I'm not sure what Dixon really could have done there, apart from just kind of cross his fingers and toes.
Yeah, and now we're on board with Luke Hollick, and that's Paul Dixon on the outside. And that's a late lunge there from Hollick, sending Dixon off the track. We saw Winslade
incident in almost as many corners there, wasn't it?
Yeah, those two are going at it. We saw Winslade coming through the pits to repair from his damage, so managed to get back on track. He's now in 10th place and back in the running, but look at that, 40 seconds off the lead already.
It's a dream start for Kelly and Miller, who both trying to recover their championship. Kelly and Miller should be right at the front. Miller, of course, with that first win, but the problems he had last week, and this is quite the opposite for both of them. Yeah,
Kelly getting very sideways there as we saw them, and he has been known to call this a bogey track, so I'm sure the nerves must be ratcheting up for him right now. And so here we can see there's Gary Richards and Lawrence Aaron Jenkins keeping it out of trouble and gone all the way from the back row to 5th place.
Keeping your nose clean, key. Going a bit sideways there, but that's great pace from the ledge there. 5th place.
Yeah.
Garlic as well, and Richards, the Williams drivers, Williams pair, just both looking for the podium positions. Really strong performance from both of them.
Indeed, and we can see that William Bibby and David Lyne are now out of the pits. Lyne looks like a lap down, but at least they're back in the running. Let's see what they can do from there.
Just also looking down the grid there, as Miller sets a 38.4 for the fastest lap. Gary Jones and Lawrence Aaron Jenkins both running 5th and 6th with all the problems going on around them, and then staying well out of the way, and should be getting rewarded if they can finish there.
Yeah, it'd be a massive haul of points for both their teams, and you'd normally expect it to be the other two drivers, so this is great. I'd love to see what they can do from here. And can Gary Richards hunt down his teammate James Garlick and pick up his first podium? Be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap at the moment, but you can't rule anything out with the mistakes we've seen already. Go on board with Miller. Yeah, it's a tough corner, that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pushing hard to try and catch up to Kelly.
Interesting to see the variance and lines here through the corkscrew. Previously, you've seen a lot of these drivers, myself included, when I had the normal iRacing weekly races around here, you tend to cut the right-hand turn of the corkscrew, just like I believe Mark did there, just with your front right wheel. It gives you a slightly better drive out into the next double left-hander.
Nice, thanks for pointing that one out then, Will. That's cool to see. Let's see how whether they keep turning different lines as we get further through the race. So here we've got Mark Tranter. He's chasing Gary Jones down for 5th place, and they're coming out the final
Richards
corner.
must have. Sorry to cut you off. Richards must have had a problem there. He was running in 4th now, and he's found himself in 7th behind Tranter, Jones, and the ledge as Tranter's lining up Jones for an overtake. So maybe we'll see a replay of Richards how he lost out.
Yeah, great point actually. And the ledge running in 4th. He must be feeling the stress now with Mark Tranter is now the car behind him.
Not the person you want breathing down your neck, certainly.
No,
in particular after what we saw last season.
If he sees an opening, he's going to go for it. Oh yeah, with Mark punting Lawrence out of the way at the corkscrew. Where's he going to make the move this time?
Yeah, you've got to imagine Tranter's got the pace to get past and up into 4th place. Probably be looking to see if he can get up to Garlic, but Garlic's really holding on to the leaders there. That top 3 are very close together. Kelly has not run away.
There's a spinner there. That's Gary Jones losing it at turn 5. And look at that, Mark on the run now to the corkscrew. It's gone to the outside line.
The move's already done.
Yeah, much better run out of that left-hander up the hill.
Do you think Lawrence made it easy for him to... Oh, and who's that spinning now?
Got Hollick.
Hollick again. And Dixon going off the track to avoid him.
These two are inseparable this week.
A bit of a problem pair. But yeah, on your previous point there about potentially the ledge letting Mark through, I wouldn't say so. I'd probably just say that Mark got a pretty mega run out of the left-hander up to the corkscrew there, and really I completely empathise with the ledge there, just kind of maybe lifting slightly earlier and facilitating a better overtake.
Yeah, and here we are on board with William Bibby at the start. So we can see the top three there of Kelly, Line and Miller ahead of us, and I presume that's Mark Tranter just hoving into view on the left. There's Mark, and yeah, it looks like William just turned away slightly to avoid contact with Mark and into an instant contact with the line.
It's just a bit of a sandwich, wasn't it there?
Yeah, 3 into 2 doesn't really fit, to coin a Croftyism now, I believe. But yeah, look at this. This is what I mean about Mark. Massively aggressive. Knows where he can stick the car, especially on the inside line. And really, I think they may have been okay, actually, if they'd stuck that. But I think Mark might have given William a bit of a scare there.
Yeah.
That's where Tranter span.
Yeah, that's a replay of slightly later in the first lap. Mark just already on the attack of Rob and just carrying a bit too much speed, and there's Winslade losing it in the very next corner actually, and taking his front nose cone off.
And reversing onto the track, brave.
Yes, a bit of a suck your breath in, and this is the Hollick. Oh, Dixon tries to avoid him, takes to the grass, or sand in this case, and unfortunately couldn't.
Oh! Goodness me, that was a brave re-entry there.
Yeah, I don't blame Dixon for trying to avoid it. I mean, hindsight would say you'd slam the brakes on, should I say, instead to. But yeah, when you're trying to race and gain positions, there's no problem there. But I think a podium this week is going to be a bit out of touching distance.
Yeah. Well, traditionally, it's on the spinning car to also lock the brakes, as it's easier to avoid than. But it looks like Hollick had his rear wheels lit up there, trying to correct the spin. I have to check that post race to have a look at that, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I'd like to see your thoughts on that one. So there's a little lock up there from Hollick as he's now chasing Dixon, and here's the ledge. Gary Richards has now got past him, so the ledge down to 6th place.
Yeah, this is
quite a gap from the ledge to Jones.
This is still excellent running for the ledge, actually. I think this is one of the highest aggregate positions he's had in the Limited Adhesion Season 1 and Season 2. So yeah, great to see him up there.
Yeah, he finished 7th in the first race, but obviously that was slightly fortuitous with a couple of people running out of fuel and having problems on the final lap. But even so, he was running in the points all race, and this is another excellent showing from him. Fastest lap for Gavin Kelly.
Yeah, he's now approaching the qualifying time at a 36.0, only 0.3 off now.
We're now running on board with Gary Jones, and we are looking back at Paul Dixon and Luke Hollick chasing us to come out the final corner to start another lap.
It's pretty much a race of, well, there's 12 drivers, and it's a half the field are split between the ledge and Jones, so the ones who've been in incidents and the ones that haven't, more or less.
Yeah.
We saw last week that everyone was fairly well behaved, apart from that first lap incident, and how well rewarded we had the feature of Dixon getting 3rd place for just keeping the car on the road. That Garlick, Richards, the ledge, all could be getting decent hauls of points this week for doing the same.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a fascinating battle that we've got developing here between Jones, Dixon, and Hollick. Obviously, we've seen quite a lot of contact between Hollick and Dixon already. And Gary's had one spin already as well. Quite a busy old race. Fastest lap, David Lyon then, 36.2.
From last place.
Yeah. Shame there isn't really a point for fastest lap, because this is a classic example of when you want one.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Look at this into the corkscrew.
Really close.
Both
wow.
looking
Oh,
up.
wow.
And well, Will, tell me what happened.
Well, that was a classic driving into an instant there. Without looking at a replay in detail, I can't say much. That happened very, very quickly, but I can certainly say that it's left Mr. Hullock there with a broken right suspension piece, so that's going to be a repair for him, I think. But that looked like looks like a Paul Dixon versus Gary Jones, I think it was. And then, of course, well, without sounding a bit rude, Luke just drove straight into that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Would he have been better off, like, hanging back and trying to get through, like, later on after the corkscrew, bearing in mind there were already two cars going side by side up into that corner?
Potentially, yes. Hard to say. But certainly with driving into instant there, you saw the smoke, you saw the lockups. It would have been better just to slam on the brakes and watch the situation develop afterwards and still carry that speed in. But as you said, go for after the corkscrew, because both of those drivers there would have been basically snails coming out there. You could have got a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones somehow has managed to still remain in 7th place despite all that action at the corkscrew, and Dixon still on his tail. Winslade not too far behind as well.
Yeah, Winslade is the beneficiary. He's gained a place, and as you say, look, less than 5 seconds behind now.
I'm surprised at how durable
Jones's helmet.
I'm surprised at how durable these cars are proving, actually, because every time I've raced the skip in and out of limited adhesion, I've touched something and the car is just shattered, just literally turned into bits of glass on the floor. So I'm very, very amazed that didn't result in a 3-car return to pit.
Oof. Looks like Jones has gone a bit too wide there. He's lost the position.
Oh, nice move from
the exit
Dixon.
Exit of the corkscrew. Yeah, Dixon was putting a lot of pressure on him, and Jones seemed to have it covered on the way in, but on the way out, Dixon managed to get through.
And look at the gap. Winslade has now halved the gap to Jones in the space of a lap. In fact, if you look at their lap times, he's running roughly between 2 and 3 seconds a lap quicker.
Well spotted, yeah. Winslade will be lining Jones up potentially this lap or next at current pace. And Dixon's hopefully just stay out of any further incidents for the rest of the race and can sail off in pursuit of the ledge. But 7th place might be the limit for everybody at this half of the field.
Yeah, it's quite a big gap from Dixon to the ledge at the moment, isn't it? On board with Dirty Winslade. Taking his chances on that curve, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, the skip can take some of these cyclist curves. I mean, I'd say the exception being this next left-hander coming up under the bridge. That curve there is a substantial obstacle to any car. But you could even nibble the sausages in this car. Fantastic exit there by Winslade, slightly ruined by a moment of oversteer, but he's right on Gary Jones. This is potentially for P8 then.
Yeah, they were very close to contact there in Hope and Pray. That was a bit scary.
Good exit there.
Through the corkscrew.
Jones has been losing positions or been fighting with the corkscrew, I think, every one of the last 3 or 4 laps, so been looking for a moment's peace.
Brilliant move there. Shame that was cut off by the replay from the ledge going a bit wide there, but that was a fantastic manoeuvre. Straight up the inside. Great overtake there by Winslade.
Gets the job done. So Winslade up to 8th place now, and it's like Jones coming back at him somewhat.
Yeah, be a bit too far back to make that move work. Good shout out to the ledge though for holding on to that. It was that could have gone into the barriers. We've seen that happen already in the race, but no, still holds on to 6th.
Yeah, indeed, that was substantially spooky.
Dixon's now got away from both of them as Winslade and Jones have battled.
It seems to me that Jones's tyres might be slightly cooked, and it's not that difficult to do in the skip, especially in a track like this where you are majority sideways in most of these corners.
Yeah, good point. I mean, I think I'd list Gary as being one of those drivers who'd say Laguna Seca not one of his particular favourite tracks, so I think he'd be relieved if he can come home in the points from this one.
I would question the sanity of any driver who put Laguna Seca as one of their favourite tracks.
Well, David Lyon has been quoted as saying, "Laguna Seca is my baby."
Well, I will look at the
says it
standings for that.
Yeah, I would like to again point out that David Lyon currently running in 12th, so perhaps not the love child he thinks it is. But yeah, certainly it's an interesting track. I much prefer Laguna Seca in something with a little bit more downforce than Skip Barber. It's perfect for prototypes and GT cars, so lots of fun racing around here, and any of the slightly faster baby formula cars tend to do well around here as well.
I was talking about David Lyon. Oof, his
Run
Dixon
wide
was
from
very
Dixon.
wide there, yeah. But talking about David Lyon, he looks like he's got Luke Hollick, and will be trying to see if he can put both of the Lucky Bibbs cars out of the points as he goes into pursuit of William Bibby next.
Well, he's got 7 laps to do it, so let's see what he can pull off. We know he's a fast chap when he wants to be.
Yeah, I'm just looking at those lap times. It's they're all going pretty well. They've had incidents, haven't they? So last time round, Lyon 3/10 off. It's a 10-second gap, so it's a big ask, but we'll see. Not seen much of the leaders this race. I'm just looking down the order there. Kelly still in the lead and has extended his lead to 4 seconds over Miller, so it's a bit more comfortable for him now. And Garlick hasn't really closed the gap on Miller, but he's keeping Tranter well behind, so those front 3 look to be the podium positions unless somebody makes a mistake.
All quite strung out, as you say, though, and this will be James Garlick's first podium, if he can hang on to it. So,
yeah, so have we had new podium sitters for Limited Vision every race this season so far, or am I just having fantasies?
I don't think we had no, we didn't have a new one in Silverstone because it was Rob and Kelly and Batty.
That's the ones, yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Batty sadly not here with a technical issue this week.
Yeah, it's a shame to not have him here. He'd be unable to defend his championship lead as we currently see things, but it'll just be a dropped race for the season when it comes to its conclusion.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that is precisely the reason why we do this, as unlike in real life, we're not paid. We do this for fun. But yeah, it adds in that little bit of leeway where you can have a bad race and still be in contention for the championship. Unless you're Mark Tranter last season in the Radicals, where you come in and just trounce everybody. But yeah, it's fine. I still haven't forgiven him.
Yeah, Tranter came in and, of course, took advantage of the dropped races by having all the races he didn't come in at the start of the race with be his dropped races, and then promptly, trounced was the correct word, trounced everybody when he did join the league a little bit later.
Yeah, and another driver we're missing this week is Tony Hankin, celebrating his birthday. So
happy birthday, Tony Hankin.
Tony.
Happy birthday, Tony Hankin, indeed.
So we're looking down from the helicopter here, look, and Winslade has goes up once again on Dixon, taking a couple... You're not going to do it through there.
That's not the corner to overtake.
My eyes did become saucepans very briefly.
And now the run up to the corkscrew, again a corner where you've got to be... There's contact there, wasn't there?
Probably a slight wheel bash there, but yeah, quite aggressive from Winslade. Might be better thinking about his exits in the next complex of corners, as of course you're coming up to my favourite spot to overtake, which is this hairpin before the final straight. So before the opening straight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice corner to attack into here. As you can see, Winslade thought about it. See what you can do on the run down to the Andretti hairpin.
Down the curly straight.
Yeah,
the curly straight.
The curly straight indeed. And again, these 2 corners are possibly the best. Here we go, fantastic. Alongside now. Perfect, this move is on. Late braking. Ooh, quite good there from Dixon though. Yeah, that was a good move from Winslade there. Fantastic. Clean through, despite the little wheel bashes earlier at the corkscrew. That was good, that.
Did you see the comparison between their front wings as well? Winslade with a perfectly straight wing and Dixon's looking rather banana shaped now.
Yeah.
Not too surprised after the wars that Dixon has been through.
Yeah.
Look, he's coming back now into turn 3.
I mean, that's the thing with the Skip Barber. In a Formula 3 car, that would be substantially hampering your performance in these corners, whereas in the Skip, where the downforce is merely an afterthought, provided by these two essentially paper-thin wings, you can race with a considerable amount of aerodynamic damage. So,
And a stunningly fast lap there from David Lyne in a 1:35.5. Gavin Kelly's done a 1:35.7. Those two are really on it with the pace.
I'm just looking at that track map at the bottom right there in line. Just exits turn 4. It's just, he's been raced by himself the entire duration, hasn't he? It's almost getting lapped by Kelly, actually.
Well, let's see if he can... he's hunting down William Bibby at the moment. What's that? 6 seconds is the gap between them. He's got 5 laps to do it.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Well, that single solitary point. We'll see. What we've got now is Kelly, the leader.
We've barely seen him since lap 1, have we?
indeed, yeah, he has done a bit of a run and hide. He's now almost 7 seconds ahead of Miller in total, with Miller coming potentially under pressure from Garlic in the next maybe 2 laps to pull a figure out. But yeah, I think Kelly has done a fantastic race and just kept it clean. It's something he's quite good at. Not only winning and pretending he's not fast, but also in drives such as these, when he manages to get that early P1, he's a man to watch out for.
Yeah, good point. So what battles have we got left then on track? Dixon's still relatively close to Winslade, it looked like. We've got a replay here. This is Hollick and David Lyne.
Drifting wide there by Hollick, allowing Lyne to get the run on the inside. Looking good.
And that's basically a flat corner, isn't it?
Yep. Potentially a movie to cover the inside here, David. Well done. Yeah, I think what this replay proves is just how close the Skip Barber allows racing to become. This is an interesting move. Wow.
Oh, side by side in hope and pray.
Christ on a bike, that's... Wow. That's what I'm going to have to say. I'm speechless currently.
They're still going at it as they get into the corkscrew.
You can see Dave there, much more confident in the brakes than Hollick is, potentially because Hollick's carrying damage. But yeah, that was excellent defence there by Dave. Good racing by both.
Well, potentially Hollick might have seen where that could have ended up if he didn't brake when he did. That was a bit of a game of chicken from them both.
Yeah, and here we are on board with Gavin Kelly then. Who's that ahead of us?
That's Hollick, I think.
Yeah.
So Kelly's got to be careful here because this could be his whole race undone, overtaking the back markers, and that's nothing to say anything negative about Hollick or in particular Lyne as well, who's fighting for championship. It's things like that, exactly. Things like that, you could end up running into the side of Hollick as he skids his way through the corkscrew. So Gavin's got to pick his moment.
And we saw Hollick run slightly wide in turn 6 before he got to the corkscrew as well. I mean, maybe he's starting to feel the pressure and overdrive slightly. I mean, he's had a bit of an adventurous race.
Yeah, the thing to do in a situation like this is just to be the steady Eddie. There we go, fantastic on the straight, let them through. Be predictable and be safe to pass, because people will stick moves on you in the lead and potentially interesting spots where you wouldn't want them to. Classic example being my brief experience, a bit of a multi-class. Oh goodness me, drive-through penalty for Paul Dixon apparently.
Oh, and that's unfortunate for Paul. He's had a bit of a difficult race after such glory at Okayama. It's really sad to see.
Well, of all the incidents that we've seen in this race that we've been watching, it's not overly surprising that he's had as many incident points, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's the reason why he's been given them.
No.
Again.
But here we are, that's second and third. Then they're getting very close together now with Rob Miller and James Garlick.
Yep. As predicted, this should be a last lap battle.
Yeah, it's good to see Garlick running as high as he is as well. So I raced in Garlick years ago. You see the white flag waving in the distance there as well for the last lap. And yeah, Garlick is frighteningly quick when he gets comfortable, and it's taken a few races to get up to speed, but I think he's showing his credentials now.
Yeah, he's definitely gelled with this car now, hasn't he?
I'm just looking at the championship order before the race, and Garlick's on 22 points, Kelly's on 21, and Miller 26. And with Batty not attending this week, and David Line, who are our top two, David Line running out of the points, that's really going to close the championship battle up at the top.
Yeah.
Just want to provide a quick shout out to Tranter and Jim, your comments earlier about racing and yourself. Take a look at between turn 3 and turn 4.
Absolutely, yeah.
Bless him.
That's been a lonely old race.
Yeah, but very well done for that first lap instant to then recover to a P4 points finish. That's a good result for Tranter, certainly.
Yeah, I would fully agree with that. We've got here the Ledge in 6th with Winslade not too far behind, so the Ledge has had an adventure somewhere to have Winslade only 2 seconds off on this last lap.
He does seem to have lost a lot of pace over the last couple of laps, hasn't he? That gap was quite large before, so questions to be answered there.
Bibby there looking at Jones to try and nab 8th place, sorry.
Goes to the outside to the Andretti hairpin.
There's Kelly now coming to, I believe, finish the race from P1.
Just shows how far ahead Kelly was through this.
Yeah, so our third winner in 3 races, that is Gavin Kelly winning at Laguna Seca. An excellent drive from pole position. Rob Miller comes home in 2nd place with James Garlick in 3rd.
Well, congratulations there to Gavin. That was absolutely fantastic drive. Fully deserved. I know he's had a bit of a problem with the skip recently getting in, but well done.
Yeah, that's great to see. So we've got Gary Jones and William Bibby still fighting.
Oof.
Is that Bibby through? Looks like it
Turn
is.
5.
Yeah,
he's made it just before they, as you say, the hope and pray, but went very acute through that. That might allow Jones to fight back, but maybe not. It just seems a bit too far away for the corkscrew.
David Line now up to 10th place with Paul Dixon serving his penalty. So
that's really unfortunate for Dixon.
Yeah, falling out of the points at the end. And we can see on the leaderboard that Mark Tranter, Richards and Winslade have now finished the race, and there's the Ledge coming home in 7th place. So
Winslade took him.
Yeah. And, out.
Ouch. Yeah, but
well, that's a dirty legend way to end the race.
Yeah, well done to the Ledge there. I'm going to definitely shout him out. I think that's a result that has showed actually he's got a considerable amount of pace when he isn't having a bit of bad luck.
Yes, absolutely. He drove a fantastic race, and what did we see? Like the one squirrely moment in turn 6, but apart from that, he kept it on the black stuff. Fantastic job. Wow, that was an adventurous race and a half, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel really bad for Dixon as we're watching him now in particular. It's spent half his race defending, and to get no points after all of that because of that drive-through, very unlucky. Yeah.
So, final classification, Gavin Kelly wins the race, Robin Miller in 2nd, James Garlick in 3rd, Mark Tranter is in 4th place with Richards in 5th. Winslade and the Ledge come home 6th and 7th, double points for the Legends. William Bibby comes home in 8th with Gary Jones and David Line 9th and 10th. And then Luke Hollick and Paul Dixon came home a lap down in 11th and 12th respectively. Now,
well done, Kelly.
Yeah, well done,
well
Kelly.
Done.
Great job. The Drivers' Championship then, the all-important movers and shakers. Let's see what's happened. And championship leader with that win is Gavin Kelly now on 46 points. Rob Miller up to 2nd place, 44. Then Garlick is up to 3rd. What a great job he's having. Stephen Batty comes home in 4th place, and then we've got David Line in 5th, Winslade in 6th, Tranter 7th, 8th is Paul Dixon, 9th is Gary Richards, and 10th is the Ledge. 11th Gary Jones, 12th Tony Hankin, 13th is William Bibby, 14th Will Burnett, and 15th Luke Hollick.
Would not have expected Line or Tranter to be so far down the championship at this point, but
no.
Yeah, dropped races possibly could help them out.
So as we take a look at the team's championship, Stupid Aguri extending their lead out up to 30 points over Little and Large, who are now up to 2nd place. The Williams team are in 3rd, only a point behind, so they are having a fantastic championship early on. Keith Chegwin Memorial team in 4th, and the Dirty Legends are in 5th with 32. Virgin Grip 18, and the Lucky Bibs on 6 points.
It's very impressive by Stupid Aguri. They didn't have one driver here, but still got such an extensive championship lead. But that's mainly to do with the poor performance relative of the Keith Chegwin Memorial team this week.
Yeah, very true. And as we take a look at some driver quotes from the race, we had the points baby. Was not expecting that, says the Ledge. Gavin Kelly, my first real win since round 4 last season, because point ovals don't count, do they? And Ricky Spanish, David Lyon, well done Gavin, back to your winning ways. Now to say about my race, really.
Not expecting that. Yeah, well done the Ledge. We've had Will call him out a few times as well. I'd like to do the same. Good job, Ledge. Kept it clean, kept it on the track for the most part from what we saw, and good haul of points for Dirty Legends.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming up next time, we are going to the Nürburgring in Germany for the Sprint Strecke layout. It's a slightly lower, smaller version of the track, but it's got most of the classic corners are going to be on that layout. Jim, talk to us about your social media.
Yeah, you can find more of my work on medium.com, where I write about F1, or on YouTube for my satire series, The F1 Week That Was. Or you can follow me on Instagram for a bit of both. You can search for Jim on F1 on any of them and you'll find me.
Excellent, thank you. And you can find the Limit of Adhesion at limitofadhesion.com. You can find us on Facebook at the Limit of Adhesion group. And you can find us on YouTube. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our videos, or come and look us up on Discord. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us once again, and we will see you next time.